friends, I'm Tina. Welcome back to Whispering Cottage Home. Today, we're bringing a calm Blue Willow feeling into the kitchen before summer begins. Not a full home renovation, not anything fussy or expensive, just simple, thoughtful home decor ideas that can make a farmhouse kitchen feel fresh, collected, and ready for slower summer mornings. We'll talk about using old plates, everyday dishes, soft blue and white colour, practical kitchen storage, vintage linens, flowers, and a few affordable home upgrades that can change the mood of your kitchen without changing everything you own. Before we begin, I'd love to know, do you have an old kitchen treasure? Maybe a mixing bowl, a plate, or a little cabinet piece that still makes you smile. A Blue Willow kitchen does not need to start with a whole collection. In fact, it often looks more natural when it begins with one meaningful piece. Maybe it's a dinner plate from your mother's cupboard, a serving platter found at a flea market, or a teacup that has somehow stayed with you through many seasons of life. Place that one piece where it can be seen every day on a small plate stand near the coffee pot, inside a glass front cabinet, or leaned gently against the backsplash on a shelf. For a calm vintage home decor look, let that piece set the colour story. Pair it with creamy white dishes, clear glass jars, honey-toned wood, and a little bit of soft greenery. The blue pattern becomes the accent instead of taking over the whole room. A practical styling tip is to group Blue Willow with useful kitchen items. A platter behind a stack of white bowls, a blue and white saucer under a salt cellar, or a patterned teacup holding teaspoons can make the kitchen feel pretty and lived in at the same time. That is what makes old treasures special. They do not just decorate a room, they remind us of meals served, hands that washed dishes, and kitchens that held whole families together. Now, once you have one piece you love, the next step is giving your shelves or cabinets a collected look without letting them feel crowded. Open shelves can be lovely in a farmhouse kitchen, but they need a little breathing room. With Blue Willow, the pattern has movement and detail, so it helps to balance it with plain pieces. Try this simple decorating idea. Use 3 layers. First, place your taller pieces in the back, like a Blue Willow platter or a white ironstone pitcher. Then add medium pieces, such as bowls, creamers, or small covered dishes. Finally, bring in 1 or 2 useful everyday items in front folded napkins, a small crock of wooden spoons, or a clear jar of tea bags. The goal is not to display everything you own. The goal is to let the eye rest. If every plate, cup, and bowl has a pattern, the shelf can feel busy. But when Blue Willow is mixed with plain white, soft wood, and a bit of glass, it becomes graceful and easy to live with. For small kitchen ideas, this works especially well because open shelves can do double duty. They offer kitchen storage while also giving the room character. You can keep your most used dishes within reach and still create a display that feels personal. If you have a china cabinet, try the same approach. Put the prettiest Blue Willow pieces at eye level. Keep serving bowls lower where they are easy to reach. Add folded tea towels or a small stack of old recipe cards for that gentle memory of a family kitchen. And if you enjoy this kind of collected, not cluttered decorating, tell me in the comments, do you prefer open shelves, glass cabinets, or a simple plate rack in the kitchen? Next, let's soften the whole room with fabric, because linens can make a kitchen feel changed before you ever pick up a paintbrush. Before summer begins, many of us want the kitchen to feel lighter and easier. One of the simplest affordable home upgrades is changing the linens. A blue ticking stripe curtain, a white cotton cafe curtain, or a small checked valance can bring that cottage style feeling without making the room look overly decorated. If you already have Blue Willow dishes, choose linens that support the pattern instead of competing with it. For example, a soft white tea towel with a narrow blue edge looks lovely beside a patterned plate. A faded blue apron hanging on a wooden peg adds colour and usefulness. A small table runner in cream or light blue can soften a breakfast table or kitchen island. The practical tip here is to repeat the blue in small amounts around the room. One towel by the sink, one curtain at the window, one folded napkin on a tray. That creates flow without making the kitchen feel themed. Linens also bring a tender kind of memory. Many of us remember flour sack towels, embroidered napkins, or curtains that moved gently when a window was open. Those little things made a kitchen feel cared for. This is where interior design does not have to feel complicated. Sometimes a kitchen makeover begins with laundry fresh cotton, a clean window, and one old plate catching the morning light. Now, let's bring in storage that works hard, because a pretty kitchen still needs to help us cook, clean, and move through the day. A calm kitchen is not empty. It is simply well arranged. For Farmhouse Decor, vintage storage pieces can add usefulness and personality at the same time. Look for a small wooden wall shelf, a painted plate rack, a pantry basket with a tidy cloth liner, or a blue and white canister set. These pieces offer home organization while fitting the old-fashioned feeling of the room. A Blue Willow serving bowl can hold lemons on the counter. A white crock can hold wooden spoons beside the stove. A glass jar with a simple label can store tea, oats, or clothespins. A shallow tray can gather daily items like the sugar bowl, creamer, and morning mugs so the counter stays neat. The styling tip is to make storage visible only when it is attractive and useful. If something is messy, tuck it away. If something is pretty and used often, let it earn a place on the counter. This is especially helpful in older kitchens or smaller homes where storage may be limited. Instead of wishing for a brand new kitchen design, use what you have in a more thoughtful way. That is one of the sweetest home renovation ideas, improving the feeling of a room without losing its history. There is comfort in seeing useful things arranged with care. It reminds us of kitchens where nothing was wasted, where the good bowl was used for Sunday dinner, and where practical beauty mattered. Now that the room is organized, let's add a little life with flowers, light, and everyday comfort. Blue willow looks especially lovely when it is paired with simple seasonal touches. Before summer begins, bring in flowers that feel fresh but not too fancy. Try white daisies in a glass jar, pale yellow roses in a small pitcher, or a few sprigs of greenery tucked into a cream-coloured vase. You do not need a large arrangement. A small bouquet near the sink or on the breakfast table can brighten the whole kitchen. Light matters too. Open the curtains in the morning. Clear the windowsill, except for 1 or 2 pieces, maybe a small blue willow saucer, a potted herb, or a little glass bottle. When sunlight touches blue and white china, the room feels clean and peaceful. For another simple decorating idea, create a small summer tray. Use a wooden tray or old breadboard, add a blue willow cup, a folded tea towel, a tiny vase of flowers, and perhaps a favourite recipe card. Set it on the counter, island, or table. It gives the kitchen a finished look while still being easy to move when you need space. The emotional beauty of blue willow is that it feels familiar. Even if the piece is new to you, it carries that feeling of family dinners, Sunday tables, and cupboards that held special dishes for special days. A calm vintage farmhouse kitchen does not have to be perfect. It simply needs to feel loved, useful, and ready for the next season. So, as summer comes closer, maybe take a little walk through your own kitchen. Look for one piece of blue and white, one linen you can bring out, one shelf you can simplify, and one useful corner you can make prettier. You may already have the beginning of a lovely kitchen refresh right in your cupboards. If you enjoyed today's Blue Willow kitchen ideas, I'd be so grateful if you would like this video, subscribe to Whispering Cottage Home, and leave a comment telling me about your favourite old kitchen treasure. Thank you for spending this quiet time with me. I'm Tina, and I'll see you again soon here at Whispering Cottage Home.